Wow, just look at this. I did it. And we got $2 from just $10. Hello guys, I'm Samantha, and today we're going to increase our balance from just $10. But before we start, I'd like to remind you that if you're interested in joining to my VIP Telegram group where I share all my trades, you can text me directly so I'll personally answer you and add you to my private group with signals. And please don't forget that there is a limit of just 100 people, so you need to be quick to get there. Well, today we have a video with so-called overcloaking and we have only $10 in our balance. Well, now we start with a deal for 1 minute. I'm going to put a downward trend here. The alligator opened down. We will open the deal on a downgrade, and let's explain how the alligator indicator works for those who have entered for the first time. By the way, why did I get 8? Okay. And for those who are watching my channel for the first time, in general, maybe I started to be interested in trading for the first time. The alligator represents 3 lines, green, red, blue, that show us the direction. Do they go along with the schedule, and how do they work it all? So everything is very simple. Or the alligator indicator is so called because it has, as it were, a mouth and teeth. His teeth are 3 lines of the mouth. This is when 3 lines intersect and diverge. When the lines cross and diverge, it means that the jaws are open when the lines are in this position. Here it is a closed mouth and we don't trade here. That's when the mouth opens in any direction. This happens, you see. They all went down. And accordingly, we have trade down another on the main rules when trading for 1 minute, right? It turns out that we are scalping, not to bet against the trend. By no means. Okay, so now we are moving on. We are looking for another currency pair. Also be careful, all lines must intersect. That is, there are situations when the opening of the mouth occurs but the lines have not crossed. If I find it, I'll show it now. So in my opinion, I saw it right here. As you can see, the red and blue lines have not crossed, so this situation, although it worked out fine, but it is still dangerous. Do not trade in such moments, but they most likely are not going to intersect here because of such a large candle. Volatility jumped sharply and now the indicator is a little glocked. Here we have a mouth open for promotion and the trend is strongly for an increase, and accordingly you can trade, put the entire amount on the increase and immediately put here confidently the intersection of all lines has been opened for an increase, so let's watch. Great, this is another plus and we can move on. That is about the long opened mouth at the discretion of the guys, so everything is fine here, but here the maximum is not interrupt. A strong upward trend is unequivocal, but the pin bar was formed, so that is, it is dangerous for us to have 30 on the balance. So let's trade 17. Here we will have as it were an airbag, so-called airbag, in the form of $12. So if something goes wrong, we can continue. Yes, still it's minus here. Okay, well, we still have it. Our pillow is there, $13. We will continue now. There is an intersection here. I will not trade here yet. That is how not to trade here. So let's look at the trend. If it's strong on the downside, it's like that. So that is, the minimum has broken through only once, the maximum 2. Okay, such a currency pair. It is not very stable. I don't really like it. Still, I like it more than it is clearly visible that there is a strong upward trend or a strong downward trend. So the intersection was on the decline, but we are too low as if, although here we have such a reversal, yes, we haven't updated that at the minimum yet, where there is a minimum here. So difficult situation again, we will not trade here. Okay, there is an intersection going on right now at this entry, so it's interesting not to trade here either. So if there is a strong downward trend, then it will be possible. Again, the situation is strange, that is well. Okay, I will search, as soon as I find it, I will turn on. So an interesting situation here is that we will trade the entire amount on the increase. We have to risk it already. Let's watch. Okay, this is a great plus, and let's look for something else interesting. So, well, no, we go to the very beginning and look through all the currency pairs again. That is, it's only downward trend, but it's like this. So yeah, we're right at the beginning of everything. Accordingly, I will not longer put 60% of the rollback here, plus such a large candle makes absolutely no sense. Well, here we have rollback to increase rollback and decreases. So you see the volume and a huge candle again. No, we will not put an intersection here, and a huge candle is not on the increase too. I will not trade it here. It feels like some strong economic news has come out. So here you can trade on decrease. Only when we roll back we trade on downgrade. Yeah, the deal is open. Let's watch. Great, this is a plus and you can move on. The balance is already 46.5, so okay, let's go on looking and let's see if this trend is really going down. No. Therefore, we go further. That is objectively, I try to highlight the following for myself. If I see that the mouth has been holding for a long time, here's how, for example, it was possible to trade here, although quite a lot of time has passed. So if the trend is upward on the hourly time frame or on the older one, who's watching there? The minimum time frame of 10 minutes should be for a reconciliation, and I'm looking at the century. If there is a strong trend to increase, again to increase, why not to trade here, right? So the mouth is open here for a very long time, but if there is strong downtrend, I trade. There is downward trend here, but not much. That is again dangerous. Well, you can trade, let's do it this way. Let's trade down like this. So the deal is open and let's watch. Great, this plus is pretty clean and we can continue further. That's a good situation. We haven't broken through the minimum yet. We have literally a small window to jump into the deal, but if we add, of course, bring it closer, then we have a lateral movement started, right? But the trend is strong. I don't see it here, although we have this alligator started. So let's connect another indicator. In this case, there will be a MACD and we will see the volumes. Well, everything is clear. We are not trading here yet. You can see how the volumes are falling and are already moving up. Therefore, everything is fine until the end of the hour. Well, since I didn't have time, okay? But it's better not to stand in such currency pairs. If you start to figure out what kind of analysis to do and see that, well, somehow it doesn't add up right, all the information somehow does not work with each other, and it is better to skip, even if everything went down there in the end. Yes, leave it alone and just switch to another currency pair. There is nothing too bad about it. So here we have an interesting situation. You can lower the rollback rate, but there was a rollback, so I just said for a reduction or for an increase, yeah. In any case, we put it here because we have a strong trend to increase the alligator. It also talks about a raise, so the only problem we have here is a small booth, but there is nothing terrible. Let's look exactly. This is a plus and we will continue. Then we have 114 on the balance sheet, so well, here is an interesting situation. We have a downward trend here all the time, and as soon as it came out, it has now broken through the heights. It immediately rolled back even below the level. That is, it can be seen here, and the alligator has now turned around. That's why we're going to lower 114 here, and let's watch. Okay, there 29 failed. It seems after our deal. Moving on. Okay, 186 on balance. Great. And let's trade. We still have a lot of work ahead of us, so we will not relax. So maximum. We started updating in the negative, updated, so then a U-turn again and down. And now it shows the upward trend is still continuing. Here we have a downgrade indicator. Says I will not trade here. I will not trade it for decrease. So here we have a minimum that can't break through in any way, right? Accordingly, here we see that people who talk down, we see here we have a minimum of not breaking through in any way. Accordingly, we close this currency pair. Let's move on. I don't even watch 54% of it, so it's a very low percentage. We will not risk. So we look further, and there's nothing. We go from the very beginning and look again for a new currency pair. So here, of course, is the first currency pair that I have added here. They generally have some kind of mess going on here. It's unclear how to trade them. I don't imagine it's possible at all. We are looking at a strong downward trend. So we go to the hourly time frame and the minimums are not updated here, and the upward trend, that is how it is possible to trade on these currency pairs at the very beginning. So here's an interesting point. But something tells me that there is also an upward trend, but our maximum has been updated and updated. So, and this is updating, okay, and at least not. Okay, the trend for an increase, at least now, is one big red candle of a rather sharp one. Also, let's see what is happening here. It worked for an increase, for a decrease. It is unclear what happened. You see, it talks about a promotion, but it went down a lot. The intersection instantly worked out again for an increase, but also again, how I worked up and down. That is, there was lateral movement here, so be careful and leave it here. I think that any person with some kind of logic at least will not stand in such moments, right? So therefore we will not turn the downward trend into a strong downward trend here. The indicator tells us the opposite. Next, what's going down here? Let me guess, the downward trend. Here it happens. Whether it was necessary to trade already when I saw that I turned down. I didn't have time. It's just that there are already some intersections. I curve indicator. I don't want to trade here anymore. I could just trade here from the level and it would be fine. Here too is an interesting situation again, right? So well, here the highs were updated. The minimum of some kind began to be updated, but it has not yet broken through anything. That is in your head. There should be such reasoning as I have. I don't remove it on purpose, leaving everything as it is, as I think, as I analyze graphs, and you should gain experience with the help of me. I've made a lot of mistakes before, so I will definitely be able to give some knowledge in any case. So here I will trade on a decline, just a good currency pair. We had such a sideways movement, which still led to the fact that the chart went down and broke through the minimum. You see, the minimum has been updated. If we approximate the minimum here, from which the chart could not in any way, which the chart could not break, but after a sideways movement and an attempt at some kind of reversal, that is adjustment, we still had a minimum broken and updated. Accordingly, here we are sure that the chart is moving down respectively, so we trade here. That's great, that's a plus. The balance is 332, great, and you can continue to look for another currency pair, but here I will not put, for obvious reasons, I will not trade. I tried to bypass with currency pair. There is a similar situation here, but the minimum has not been updated yet, so therefore I will not trade here. So let's move on. Here it tells us about the increase. It jumped a lot, but here the trend for an increase can even be set, so I'm afraid to bet on adjustments now. As a rule, after a large spike in volatility, that is, candlesticks begin to appear large, there is an adjustment in the form of such large candles too, but in the other direction, which leads to an average level. And to be honest, I'm afraid to bet on such moments. Again, we have 30 seconds now, luminant, it is unclear what is happening at all. Now the pin bar is standing. Therefore, we will close this currency pair and go further. We still have a lot of currency pairs ahead of us, so don't get hung up on one thing. Well, just keep moving. Then look for more a strong downward trend here. Moreover, we had an attempt of some kind which has already rolled back a lot. Well, you know, I kind of think it's possible to trade here. However, we haven't updated that minimum and I don't like it. No, I'm not going to trade here. The minimum is not updated accordingly. The transaction can be here, so minimum, maximum, maximum updated, minimum updated, 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 and maximum started updating again shows about the increase. That is the upward trend. Okay, here I will trade on the increase when the indicator shows the opportunity to go for an increase. Right now it is closed for the time being. It will not be possible to trade here. What do we have here? There is a strong upward trend. Clearly an upward trend, but here the bet I think can be seen on the video because we have two lines that didn't intersect. It is dangerous, so we don't trade here, just moving on. We have a rollback here to this level, so I'll mark myself here. Now, so let's see the level. If it bounces, by the way, we also had a breakthrough, the maximum was updated and rolled back. That is, it may mean that there will be a strong surge now. That is, now it can jump up sharply, but come on, we know how to do it. We will now connect with you again and you one more indicator. Well, not new, MACD, so let's see volumes. And here I observe, by the way, we don't have a triangle here. You don't get a triangle here. So now I'm looking from here, so let's say like this. Here everyone is talking about what will go up when they rebound, if there is a rebound. By the way, here it is a rebound, at least in the shade, but there is no. I'll leave this currency pair now. I'll move on. The trend is on the rise. There will be an intersection soon. I'll trade in advance, so let's watch. Great, a great plus. I'm betting here again on a raise. What is it? Oops, on the increase once again. We put the deal open here and let's watch. Great, this is a plus, so a new currency pair. We are looking at a trend for an increase, and we will need to open a deal for an increase, so let's do it and let's watch. Okay, excellent plus, and we move on. So 65%, well, there was no intersection here. This is a trend for us to increase, a strong trend for an increase. There is sideways movement. Look, here they touched us, but didn't intersect. So we crossed pants here. That is, we had auditors. Now I think it's quite possible to trade here. So let's make two deals of 600 for a rollback for an increase. So let's do it, and we still have $700 left in case of a failed transaction, so let's watch. It's just on the edge. I will no longer bet in such situations. Okay, let's go. Again, we have come to these currency pairs. After the trends, they began to have such sideways movements, strange, incomprehensible. Yes, the lows are not breaking through. That is, we are walking right on the edge here. As you see, here is the last minimum, and this minimum does not break through the next candle in any way. Well, the next moment, that is, well, yes, they come in as a shadow, but they come back every time. That is, we conclude that we can roll back here every time, and I explain again by the example here. When the candle will be right here at the level of these candles, that is to make it even easier to understand. Here I marked the border, and when the next candle turns out to here from this border, you can bet on an increase. In any case, even if the indicator tells us about a decline and so on, that is, we are constantly rebounding. So our currency pair is the next one on which we will trade, and we will stand now for a rollback. Wait, it has grown up, and I also want more that the candle has grown. That is, I expect it to grow at least a level. So this probably can be put on a rollback, that is on a decline. Well, here, for obvious reasons, there is also a strong downward trend, but it didn't happen, and so it goes down. I will wait anyway. Now like this. Come on, let's grow up again. Please, we open two deals for a reduction here, and let's watch. And great, both deals are in plus and you can continue. I think even here it will be possible to put one more time and I will do so. 2 more deals are down here, 3 short trades. Sorry, let's watch. You and I have just lost 1,000 and returned 2,000. And open it again. Okay, but still in a small minus. Well, what I expected is happening, so let's continue to look for what we have here. The maximum has been updated and gone down, so it doesn't fit. So interesting is the situation that's on the chart here. The second downgrade has not updated anything. We go further, so let's look. And so, but here's an interesting situation. Here we have a trend for an increase, and which now also tells us about an increase, and we will not stand for such a candle for obvious reasons, but after that it would be possible, so that's why I didn't trade. Here I saw a sharp jump down. It was clear that it was necessary to stand for promotion, because who does not take risks? No, we won't take any chances. Only if there is a strong pullback I will trade. I will not trade it yet, so I have opened up about quality for an increase. I still have 2 deals, that is a strong pullback. Now I'll pull 2 more. In the meanwhile, we're watching. Wow, just look at this, I did it! And we got $6,500 from just $10. If you want to trade like me, just go to my Telegram group with signals, and they are absolutely for free. And also don't forget to give this video a like. Thanks a lot.